Welcome to Aging in Style with me, Lori Williams. I'm an optimist by nature, and I believe you can follow your dreams at any age. My grandmother's journey with dementia ignited a passion in me to work with seniors. I've spent the past 13 years learning about seniors and aging. In my mid-50s, I followed my own dream and founded my company, where I use my expertise to help seniors locate housing and resources. On this podcast, we cover all aspects of aging. Join us each week to meet senior living experts and inspirational seniors who are following their dreams. The fact is, we're all aging, so why not do it in style? Hi, welcome to the show. Today's show is all about purpose, finding your purpose at any age. So you may be thinking, I'm 85 years old, I don't have a purpose. Yeah, you do. Everyone has a purpose, no matter what your age. And I started thinking about this because it seems to be sort of like a common theme throughout all of the podcasts that we've done, that we talk about purpose. Well, whether it's someone who started a business serving seniors because it fulfilled a passion and a sense of purpose that they had, or if we were talking to someone who takes care of people with dementia and they talk about finding a purpose for those with dementia. Because no matter what your age, what your condition, it would seem that we are all pretty much wired to have a purpose. And I started thinking more and more about this, and so I Googled sense of purpose, and I came across a pretty interesting article. And it was a article from NPR from 2019. And what it said was that there had been a study that was done. I think it was like 7,000 people that they did this questionnaire that they gave them and followed along to see what the results would be. But what they learned in the study was that having a purpose in life may actually decrease your risk of dying early, specifically from cardiovascular diseases. Having a sense of purpose helps you live longer. What? Y'all ever heard that? Kind of makes sense, right? They also said that a sense of purpose can alleviate loneliness. Now, we talk about that all the time, about loneliness in our seniors and how that affects them. And, with depression, with so many health issues from loneliness. So that all kind of works together, right? That kind of makes sense. If you have a sense of purpose, no matter what your age, you're not going to be lonely. And clearly, there are some health benefits to that. So let's talk about, on today's episode, let's just talk about that. Let's talk about purpose. And as we talk about this, I want you to think about what your purpose is. What is your purpose now? What was your purpose when you were younger? I kind of use purpose and passion sort of interchangeably, but what is it that kind of gets you up in the morning and kind of helps you to feel like there's something that you're in this world to do something? And as I kind of thought more about this, our purpose changes throughout our lives. So, when we're a small child, maybe our purpose is to go to Girl Scouts. I don't know. That's the first thing that came to mind. Or if you're a little boy, to be the best baseball player ever. And then we hit our late teens, early 20s, and purpose is to find the right college, go to college, and, decide our major. That's our purpose. We're our driving force to get through that. Start our career. So like 20s and 30s, maybe we're really into our careers. Our purpose is to start our families, to take care of our children. And purpose kind of becomes in those years kind of really not so much of your mom, especially kind of not so much about you, really more about your kids, which leads you into your 40s and 50s and the whole empty nest syndrome, because your purpose has been all about your kids, right? And now you've got to figure out, who am I? What do I like to do? What's my purpose? And this was like such a great example. Last week, I go to a book club group with some really fabulous women, and we're all kind of different stages of life. And one lady, I want to say she's probably 70. I'm not sure, so don't quote me. She started talking about this, about the empty nest syndrome. And she said that when her youngest graduated from high school and went off to college, she and her husband kind of sat there, in their family room and kind of were like, now what? now what do we do? And so she decided to start a whole new career. So she started a new career, and she is one of these, very feisty ladies, always on the go. And she started, she worked this career, she traveled, and she does a ton of volunteer work. And I mean, she has a definite purpose. And she said that her daughter came home from college and was like, what's going on? Because they were on the go. She and her husband, they're busy. They have things that they're doing. And, so her daughter was a little startled that, hey, they just kind of moved on. But that's great. That's what you want to do. You don't want to sit home and, not have that purpose any longer. You have to, at each stage of life, find what is your next purpose. And that one kind of hit home with me because my youngest is a senior in high school. So we're going to be facing that empty nest syndrome. So it's going to be interesting. I do have a purpose, though. I mean, she is my purpose, but I do have a lot of other purposes too. So but it'll be interesting to see. So when we think about, like I said, throughout our lives, our purpose changes, right? So it would seem that we get in a little trouble is when we hit retirement age, and people feel suddenly that they have lost all sense of purpose. And, we don't realize that grandma needs to have a purpose still. Grandpa may have just retired from his job, and maybe he worked till he was 75, but now that's a loss, and he has to find a new sense of purpose. And I think that takes us back to that quote about having a purpose in life, and that may actually decrease your risk of dying early. It's going to alleviate the loneliness. It's going to give you something that you get up in the morning, a purpose, something that you want to do each day and succeed at. So I did a little more research. I was tearing it up on Google today, and I was looking for, how do you find a purpose? So kind of think about that. How do you find your purpose? I mean, we all have things that we enjoy doing. Like, I love to read. I love watching Netflix. It's not really my purpose. So what is your purpose in life? Not just what you like. Yeah, it's going to be something you enjoy doing, but how do you find that purpose? And so here were some ways that we could find the purpose. Number one, if you're a senior and you're retirement age, one thing you can do, keep working. If you have to retire from that job, why not start a second career? That's a thought, right? So what if you worked 40 years as an accountant, but honestly, you always wanted to, own a music store? Why not do that now? Maybe that's your new purpose. Or maybe you don't want a career. You don't want to have a business. How about volunteer work? There's always so many ways to volunteer. What if you, and I like this quote really, when they talked about volunteer work, they said, contribute to society in some way. Okay, what about Habitat for Humanity? What if you went out and helped build homes for someone who was in need? I know a gentleman who is in his 90s, and he is part of the Habitat for Humanity. What about delivering Meals on Wheels? So what? You're 70, you still drive, you're still in good health? Why not go deliver meals to seniors who maybe can't get out any longer, that have health issues, aren't able to drive? Go deliver meals to them. Church. Get involved with your church. Run the nursery. Help out at schools. There's so many ways that you can make a difference. And while making a difference and helping others, you're finding your purpose. Second way, keep learning. There's no rule that because we're a certain age, we stop learning. What do you want to learn? Do you want to go back to school? Why not? Or maybe you just want to take a class. Maybe you want to learn how to knit. Maybe you always wanted to learn how to knit. Do it. Or play the guitar. I will tell you this about playing the guitar. That was going to be my new purpose when COVID started, when we first had the quarantine. My daughter has a guitar that she does not know how to play. And I thought, okay, bring me your guitar. I am going to learn. I'm going to watch YouTube videos. I am going to learn how to play guitar. Well, I learned pretty quickly that you have to cut your nails really short to be able to hold the chords, the strings down and do the chords. And I just wasn't that committed. That was not my purpose to play the guitar because I like my nails. I like my long nails. So I gave that up. It lasted about 2 days. But you know what? I tried. And you know what? That's okay. Sometimes try things. They sound interesting. Try it out. Maybe it's not your purpose, but hey, at least you tried something new. But just keep learning, whatever that looks like for you. Focus on gratitude. Each morning or evening, whatever works for you, write down 3 things that you're grateful for. And it could be something so simple. Or maybe you're just sitting there and you're thinking, you know what? I am so grateful for my son. My son is just a unique, fabulous individual. I'm thankful for him. Or maybe it's, I am so grateful and thankful for the beautiful sunrise this morning. I mean, it could be just anything at all. Kind of that goes along with this, find small joys. So you don't have to be looking for some great big thing to be happy about. You can find joy because you sat on your patio this morning and you drank the most delicious, perfect cup of coffee. And I know people love their coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I know people are very passionate about their coffee. So maybe you just had the most fabulous cup of coffee ever brewed. And, just that's a small joy, enjoying your morning coffee, enjoying wildlife. I mean, maybe there's a little squirrel frolicking around, just something, just enjoy those small joys, find them and enjoy them. And then maybe even write down about them in your gratitude journal. This is a big one right here. Accept what you can't change. So what if you've been diagnosed with something? Maybe you have neuropathy in your feet. You need to use a walker to get around. You can be angry about that, but why? You can't change it. So accept it. You can still find purpose. There's still things you can do. As we age, because the way it is, we're going to lose a lot. We're going to lose people we're close to. We're going to lose jobs, especially with men, jobs that felt like that was their whole identity in life. We're going to lose the ability to drive in some cases. Maybe we have, macular degeneration. Who knows? There's so many things. There are so many losses that happen as we age. That's just part of life. But we have to accept it. We can't change it. So accept what you can't change. If you focus on what is happening and why is this happening to me, you run the risk of becoming a bitter person. So why not just rejoice and have gratitude for what you still can do? And guess what? You can still have a purpose. Create. It's our next topic, or our next way that we can find purpose in our lives. Create something. I mean, you may say, Lori, oh my gosh, I am so not creative. We're all creative in some way. There's always something we can create. How about write something? Maybe write your history. Write about a time when you were growing up. Write about your parents. Maybe some shenanigans you and your brother got into. It could be something that's just solely for you, or it could be something that you want to share. You don't have to be a perfect writer. And remember, with anything that you create, we all start somewhere. I'm never going to be a Picasso, but I like to draw sometimes. And that's something that's on my list of things I want to be able to do. I'd love to take art classes. So like I said, create something, write something, paint, draw, craft. I mean, even baking. Bake something delicious, bake some cookies, do something. It's something that, and just as you're doing it, just think, I am creating. I guarantee you can create. I promise you. But the last one is stay healthy and strong through exercise. So whatever that looks like for you, whether it's just walking around your block, walking around your house, doing an exercise video. There's so many videos like on YouTube you can pull up. My daughter and I actually did a Richard Simmons one. Do not laugh at me. We actually really enjoyed it. It was a sweating with the oldies. So I highly recommend Richard Simmons. Okay, maybe you have to do seated exercises. That's fine. Do seated exercises. Get involved, when things kind of open up again. I know we're kind of in the midst of COVID, but when things open up, why not join the senior center in your area? There's senior centers in every area. There are seated classes. There's yoga, there's Tai Chi, there's all different things. Just get your body moving just a little bit. And maybe that could be your purpose. Your purpose could be, I want to be able to walk around my block, 3 laps around my block. It's your purpose. You determine what it is, but just do something. So that's really what I have on purpose today. So what I would like to do, though, is challenge each of you to find your purpose. And talk to your parents, your grandparents, any senior person in your life, who's a part of your life. Encourage them to find a purpose. I mean, it's not all over just because you retired. It's not all over because you're 85. You can still have a purpose. So find what your purpose is and go for it. And then tell me about it if you want. I would love to know. Anyhow, that's what I have for you guys today. I hope it gets you thinking. And if you haven't already, please go to Apple Podcasts and subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Let me know what you think of it. Thank you, as always. Thank you for listening, and y'all take care. Bye-bye.